No, I don't. I don't lose. I invoke winds on my own Haughty Djinn because I untap it. Hey Dragonauts, what's Dragon on? Astralsflame here, tapping out to talk about Mono Blue with Sword of Once and Future. Before I get into it, make sure you tap that subscribe button to stay updated on all the new standard best of 3 decks coming out. And with that, let's talk about how just amazing Sword of Once and Future is with the Mono Blue deck on a Haughty Djinn or a Tolarian Terror. Mono Blue Sword is something sweet to take into the meta. What's the difference in this deck? Well, it is Mono Blue tempo, but playing the ever-elusive Sword of Once and Future. Your creature's going to get +2/+2 protection from blue and black, which are two of the most prominent colors in the meta right now. And in addition, when it deals combat damage, you're going to be able to Surveil 2 and then cast an instant or sorcerer spell with mana value 2 or less from your deck. And, well, not your deck, but your graveyard, sorry. And Sword of Once and Future fuels the tempo deck because that is what Mono Blue wants to do. It wants to be filling the graveyard. It wants to be casting more spells. We have an amazing selection of them, from Considers to Fading Hopes to Moment of Truce. Maybe not the March of Swirling Mist because that's not going to do anything. But you have a great selection of spells to recast from your graveyard that are going to disrupt your opponent's plays, further filling your graveyard, which is going to further power up your Haughty Djinn and making your Tolarian Terror even cheaper. So your 1 mana Terror is going to be super easy to get. Your Haughty Djinn is going to be absolutely stomping. And with that protection from black and blue, your opponent isn't going to be able to touch your creatures if they are in those colors, which is amazing. The big thing though, we're going to play a lot of cards. We're going to use a lot of cards. We're going to fill our bin. And thankfully, we do have some extra card draw. We've already touched on a couple that we're going to reuse. That's going to be Considered. That's going to be Moment of Truth. But we are also watching and using here Flow of Knowledge. So we're going to draw a card for each island we have, and then we have to discard 2. But again, we're fine with that. Discarding a couple things back to this to our graveyard, and using our Sword of Once and Future to recast them for further value. I'm always one that loves to use spells to their maximum value, and doubling down on that is even better. Plus a 7/7 Tolarian Terror just kind of ends the game really quick, or what is probably going to be a 10+ power Haughty Djinn. I mean, what's not to love about that, right? But the sword itself does lead into some interesting play styles. The most played deck at the moment before Wilds of Eldraine was Dimir Midrange. And this sword basically says protection from that deck. When you're up against mono black midrange or aggro, or even just the mirror match of mono blue tempo, the sword also kind of says, hey, I'm pretty well covered here. You're not going to be able to do anything to me. The only thing that really gets around it is things like a Sheholder's Edict, like the Edict Effects or a Liliana. That's a couple cards out of the 60. And otherwise, you might just be able to counterspell that with your negates or make disappears. Even your Ertai Scorn, if that's the way you're rolling. But it gives itself a lot of value, lets you recur a lot of value, and further pressing the damage to end the game very quickly. With that too, let's touch on the sideboard. Our sideboard has some very interesting matchups. We have a few extra counterspells here, depending what you need to run into, but we also have some different creatures as well, like Suspicious Stowaway. If the game is going to need some more aggressive damage, you can play in that Suspicious Stowaway, again, further helping your graveyard because it's going to draw a card, discard a card, can't be blocked, but you can stick a sword on the Suspicious Stowaway, which is going to make it a 3/3, and just get your game plan really rolling on what you want to do. You know, if your opponent's permanents are becoming a problem, we've got Invoke the Winds. We can steal things, we can draw things, we can discard things back to the graveyard. The sideboard answers a lot of problems that, well, maybe just aren't a problem anyways, but could be more of a nuisance. I think though, mono blue tempo is going to be a really sweet way going into the new meta. And if Dimir is still as good as it is, Sword of Once and Future is going to be one of the best ways to combat it. So Dragonauts, with that, please enjoy the game. One land into a Consider I could potentially get rolling. Yeah. I'm on the draw, so I'm gonna have a draw. I can potentially consider, get a second draw. Then we have turn 2 into our other draw. I think that's fine. 1-9 Dimir midrange by the looks. There's the island off the top. No instant speed response. Always great to see. Pass the turn. And let's go ahead and get them on a make disappear. You know what? No, I'll let that resolve actually. Moment of Truth, so I can find a land. We'll put the Consider in the graveyard. The land can go back. Makes our Tolarian Terror cheaper. And I'll pass the turn. So we're gonna go down to 17 here. Water coming in is fine. Trespasser is annoying. I do think I'm gonna make disappear that. Very cool. And I could play the Haughty Djinn in here, because I have the slip out the back. But I'm not playing Djinn mono blue control. This is just mono blue tempo. Mono blue mid-range, if you will. And honestly, I'm gonna just take the damage. I'll slip out the back of the Djinn. If they want to spend a second removal, it's fine. I still just have the Terror. Sure. That's fine. Again, I just have the other Djinn here. Although, playing the Tolarian Terror is kind of nice. It is the Swordless. Yeah, it is Avalan. Sure, Trespasser's fine. So I just need a Moment of Truth to find me a land, and we are like off to the races here. We'll put the Thirst in the graveyard. Djinn can go back. And this is where things get kind of disgusting. Now I've got a 7/7. That they can't block or target. And I'm going to put the Fading Hope back like that. I don't think I need the land either, actually, at this point. And let's go ahead and Fading Hope the underdog back to their hand. We'll save that Make Disappear for on top. Sword, pretty good. It's pretty nice having a 7/7 Terror that they can't target. Rhystic Study, oh my goodness. Rhystic's a good one, Wolf. Rhystic's a good one. Alright, let's play in the Haughty Djinn. Let's force out if they have anything, and now we're just gonna go attacking for 7 again. Put the opponent down to 6, and by putting them down to 6, we're gonna get to go ahead and scry again. Surveil, sorry. I don't think I need either of those, actually. And I think I would like to Moment of Truth. And there's game 1. I don't think I need to shore up. I'm kind of happy with what we're rocking. Ertai Scorn we could probably cut. And then maybe bring in Witness Protection. That would let me take care of Sheholder. It's either that or I bring in Invoke the Winds. I think I like Essence Capture and Invoke the Winds for game 2 here, so let's go ahead and do that. I mean, 3 Considers is kind of nice. Yeah. I do like 3 Considers, even if they turn 1 Duress me. still just have 3 considers. VIP or just the regular? Personally, I went for the regular. The regular was all I went for. Nothing like fancy. Let's go ahead and consider here. I do like that land. Kind of hit our land drops easily. We will pass the turn. Do I want to take 3 here? Yeah, I'll go to 17. That's fine. Cast a consider. I like that. And I'm going to go ahead and cast a consider. I'm also fine with that. Playing a land. I'm going to say no attacks and pass the turn. It's your first Magicon too? Honestly, same. We'll go down to 14 here. That's fine. I'm going to go for a Thirst for Discovery. Okay, make disappear. Glad to see that gone, actually. And I'm gonna bounce back the Tenacious Underdog here. Don't think I need the Otawara. And then I'm gonna play in a 1-mana Tolarian Terror. And I'll pass the turn. Yeah, T-Dog's fine. Hey, a Sword of Once in Future. That's kind of nice. Let's go ahead for the equip. Oh, they had the Edict. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, got me on that. Not much I can do about that. Take the draw. And then I'll do it again. Okay, Trespasser's fine. They can just pay the mana, so it's not worth it to do. Alright, goes to my turn. We go down to 6 here. I am going to attack in. If I can deal with the board, I have options. But I need this to show something. For example, that Fading Hope could do all right. Okay, pass the turn. Maybe I should have hit the Tenacious Underdog, actually. Yeah, the Tenacious Underdog might have been smarter. We'll go down to 3 here. Yeah, I should have... I could have done that better. But I might still be able to find my lethal. Nah, 2 islands isn't going to do it. So if I hadn't let that resolve, maybe I could have done something to consider for finding something else, but that's okay. We're going to keep and go on there. It's still really close. That came down to, like, fixing our hand. We will take the play. We will not keep this hand. Sure. I've got sword in hand. Sword can do some stuff. Pilfer sucks. And I just drew the Djinn of all things too. Pilfer sucks. And they get the Trespasser. And it goes to nighttime. Alright, down to 16. That's the turn. I need to deal with that Trespasser somehow, but I can't play in the Flow of Knowledge. Because they've got a counterspell more than likely in hand. And then this is where they get me with the Make Disappear. They did not. Okay. We can maybe get some places here. They have to choose the sword. Okay. Count Dracula. Sure.
Violence is necessary to set things right.
Reveal into a land. That's fine.
Wish to know my secrets?
Playing a Haughty Djinn here. Don't bother with the other one past the turn. Still need to deal with that Graveyard Trespasser, though. Ah, it's a rest.
Blood for knowledge, a fair trade.
Absolute beast of a draw. Let's go for Consider. Alright. I'll make them pick. They have to pick Flow. Problem is they have perfect knowledge of my hand right now. I have to protect the one Djinn, so I have to slip out the back, and if they just have the second... Yep, there's the counterspell we knew about. Use my Djinn and go down to 9 here. Playing a Djinn. If they just have the other removal, I'm in trouble. Another Trespasser's even worse, though. That does help at least. Back you go. I die if I don't take out Dracula.
Fight. I'll fix that.
And they got Pilfer. Ah. All right. I'm at 4. Put them down to 7. This is close. Spell Pierce doesn't do anything.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
2 dead cards in the opponent's hand. Invoke is nice here. Can't do anything with it. I think I just have to force attacks. And Mastermind is fine. No, because I just lose. Shoot. No, I don't. I don't lose. I invoke wins on my own Haughty Djinn because I untap it. And they can't spell pierce me because I have the 2 mana open. Alright, we're still fine. We're still fine. We are still fine. I knew bringing in those invokes was a good idea. I knew that was a good... I knew it. I freaking knew it.
You deal with this annoyance.
Okay, Tenacious Underdog, sure. I need like a heck of a top deck here. That is not the top deck I wanted. Yeah, it's not the top deck I wanted. So many other cards that can get me the job done. Like one of my swords that I still have left can get this job done.
You wish to know my secrets?
Like, they still can't attack me? Alright, there we go. That's lethal. Thank you, Otawara. Ah, there we go. Okay. Dragonauts, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. It's always appreciated. Please remember to tap that subscribe button to stay updated on all the new standard best of 3 decks for Wilds of Eldraine. And as always, keep believing. I'll catch you next time.